Hello and welcome to Literary Gladiators, the show where we discuss and debate literature in all of its forms. If it's written work, it's game.
Yay!
Let's meet the panel.
Jim.
Courtney.
Charlie.
And I'm Josh. What are we going over today, Lainey?
Today we will be discussing Dover Beach by Matthew Arnold.
Woohoo!
I love the imagery.
Excellent. Had a good paper about that. So where do we begin?
Do you believe that nature can feel misery, or is this a human trait?
May I say something first?
Go right ahead.
I think, yes, nature can... May I see that, please? I think nature can feel feelings.
Can I take the point because I agree with you?
Yeah, I like that. But I do firmly believe that nature can feel emotions. I guess, like, the setting of the sun would be, well, let's put it this way. The rising of the sun would be like a new day. It would be birth. And this might be an offshoot, but then midday, you know, it's like the life cycle in the day. And then around 12 o'clock, it's lunchtime for me, and you're in your 50s. And then when it's sunset, it's the twilight years. And so that's what I got out of it.
That sounds like, you ever heard the riddle of the Sphinx? Sophocles, Oedipus Rex, you know.
You know what?
Oedipus Rex.
Oh, dear God. Yes.
What walks on 4 legs in morning, 2 in midday, and 3 in the night?
I don't know. What?
It's
Man.
Yeah. Because you crawl as a baby, walk as middle age, and then walk with a cane as old man.
Yeah.
I would think that the way that nature is feeling is it's provided with personified emotion, but of course nature is feeling these things, but because of human flaws.
Do you mean beyond the text, is nature sentient?
Yes. Do you believe that it's like more so used to kind of personify nature, or is he discussing direct relation to nature itself and its
Sure, there
true feelings?
there are animals that mourn, like rabbits will die if they outlive their mates.
Dover Beach is also about, it's primarily the sea. It personifies the pebbles. It personifies
Yeah, I know it's
different...
primarily about
it's-
the ocean, but it's like, okay, does the ocean feel?
Does the ocean feel?
It can.
It's very much, it's implied to feel.
Yeah. The
But-
ocean, when it's fierce during a storm, it can be angry. Who took my cookies?
Another connection you have to make is Matthew Arnold was an English romantic within the later stages, and that is very much compared to the American Transcendental movement.
Mm-hmm.
If it would probably connect to nature just as much as Emerson and Thoreau wrote about transcendentalism.
Well, if we're talking about, like, literally, like, outside the text, does the sea feel? I'm sure it does. Well, the moon acts on it and that causes tides, but that's science, you know. Of course, I don't mean to get spiritual, but it's like, you know.
Same thing you say about the full moon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how it causes people to go off the moon. What did you get out of it, Courtney?
I'm actually going to take it different. I don't think they actually, nature feels. I think nature makes us feel a certain way. Like how it's with the tides and stuff, and it starts off real peaceful and then it goes kind of like a misery type thing. Like you can take the tides as something peaceful, but when they're crashing down, you can take it as anger.
Yeah.
You know, or it's going in and out. It's taking like the shells that go in the ocean. So it might take like the bad things out of your life, and just they don't matter because they're in a big area now. They're not in like that small little things I'm worried about. So
You're
it's
in a
kind of
bigger
like,
space, right?
yeah, it's like
Okay.
cleansing you almost.
Oh, I like that.
I saw the beginning as a bit more melancholy, or as tired, as opposed to, it could be considered calm, but if we're going to be more specific about What kind of kindness?
Well, the second stanza is a bit dire. You know, you have that allusion to Sophocles, who was known for writing tragedies where people could not escape their flaws and their fates.
I would
So
say
it's all inescapable human nature, and then he's portraying animal nature and oceanic nature.
it's very much how Matthew Arnold thought, in the way that how human nature continuously was flawed, even when the opportunity arose for progression.
Mm-hmm.
And bringing up that topic, what do you think Arnold is trying to convey about human nature in this piece?
That we have really historically brought about our own misery in a way, in the way that we're always trying to solve problems by starting war within the whole realm of human nature. Amongst the whole realm, we are contributing different practices that are somewhat harmful to human nature. Just about anytime we dump chemicals.
Oh yeah.
Well, when people say save the rainforest or everything, I always have to ask, but who lives there? Because if you take the case of the Yanomamo Indians in Brazil, they're slash and burn farmers. They cut down the rainforest, they burn it, that makes fertile soil, and that's how they grow what they need to survive. This is how they subsist. They can't help that. They don't want to westernize, and they shouldn't be made to.
Exactly.
But just think
To
about
each his own. To each his own.
But just think about the superiority and the inferiority. It seems as if, as we've progressed, human nature, according to human nature, we see ourselves as ultimately superior. In the eyes of nature, we're just another species.
Yeah.
So it's a very much equal ground amongst all species, human, animal, plant, not human,
Right.
animals, and then plants.
I have a
And they serve humans.
I have a plan. I forgot to word
Nature was never meant to be hierarchical. It was meant to be a synthesis. People were supposed to interact with their world and respond to their world.
Equal,
And
right?
plants and animals, yes, plants and animals would give people what they needed in exchange for people returning kindness.
That's the way the Native Americans, the different tribes, when they killed an animal, they would have a ritual
You would have
to honor
Yeah.
that creature. And the way that it connects to this is that we have every opportunity to follow that path, connecting to nature, but we don't.
Yeah, we could be one with nature, but we choose to be one with the state. You know, we want our money, we want our industry.
We
The
wanna go like-
Romantics
we
were
wanna
very
text every- we wanna text
anti-industrialization
people,
because
they
when
said. Go ahead.
when Romanticism, English Romanticism was at its height, London was first starting to industrialize. It was the rise of the factories and the smoke and the plants and, you know, everything being destructive to the skies, the smog, the pollution. Blake writes about that in London.
And then you know, in today's world, it's of course it's gotten a lot worse with all the smoke and fog and all that. But you know what? Who's got time to go on about that? You know, who's in? You know.
We do.
Dover Beach was read at a turning point of Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. Do you believe this was the right poem to choose for this specific occasion, or no?
What's the scene?
I think so. It had to do with a guy reading the work to his wife who was jaded by the society of book burning and brainwashing by the government, and she had her friends over.
And you didn't interrupt, but when you say jaded by, you mean corrupted by?
Yeah, she's been corrupted by. Guy has this disposition that he's turning against this brainwashed government, and I feel as if at that point in time, that's when when her friends go crazy, she reports him, and then he ends up in so much haywire. And this kind of poem reflects on a
Hopeless society.
on the how we constantly build into utopia. Let's make it perfect. We need to make it more perfect.
Yeah, we need more cookies in the oven.
Who's to say? Who's to say that this is perfect? We're the only. If every species of living organism were a government unto itself with equal speaking
Sovereignty.
power,
Is it perfect for the bees? Is it perfect for bears?
is it perfect for the conifer plant? But that is just. Have you seen George Carlin doing stand-up about
Yes.
global warming? It's nothing
He's
but
so funny.
yeah. The dinosaurs went extinct. We're just as likely to go extinct.
Although here, getting back to the point of, is this the right piece to have in 451? You have the allusion to Sophocles, who is very acclaimed, who wrote classic, timeless tragedies that will survive forever, supposedly. And then they're all things about the inescapability of human flaws. So you have a jaded person who is living in a corrupt world, somebody who is attempting to controvert that same fate, and this piece in the middle with its references to the hopelessness of that pursuit.
Oh, that makes great sense.
Makes a great amount of dollars too. Cents, dollars.
Yep. Praise of human nature.
Are there any other topics you wish to discuss about Dover Beach?
Anybody have any final?
Final
Points?
statements?
Alrighty, if you are interested in picking up the work of Matthew Arnold, he has a wide realm. He's written poetry. He's also written essays. You could find plenty of them if you go on a deep sea search onto Amazon, onto Barnes & Noble.
Indie-bound.
You can go indie bound. You can go to your local bookstore too.
Your library.
Definitely rent at your library. They need the support. Join us back next time for another Literary Gladiators. Until then, keep reading.